Welcome back. Welcome back to the special 2013 holiday edition, the holiday spectacular of the WILK Friday Beer Buzz. This is not how we intended to come into this segment. I think we wanted to do some really, some organized, like a choir sort of a thing, right? Yeah. If I'm not mistaken. Oh, that was it? This is it. Well, let's just try what we were talking about earlier. When I say 1, 2, 3, go, then we'll do it. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go!
Christmas bells!
Okay. All right, so obviously that didn't work either. You can't blame us for trying, though. Bill from mybeerbuzz.com here. Hello, Bill.
Hola.
Hola.
We're having a lot of fun here, but we always want to tell people, remember,
to
drink responsibly.
Absolutely.
Stay safe this holiday season. That's our serious moment.
That's for sure. No doubt about that. That's why I say I implore, or employ, I should say, the 3 R's more often than anybody else, which is, again, the recliner, the remote, and the refrigerator. I'm very happy to just be seated at home and having a good time. Because you know what? If you fall off the recliner, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, but it makes for good video. Speaking of which, if you're listening now, make sure you check out the video because we've got some extra special stuff for you there on the video. At WILKnewsradio.com, look under blogs, Friday Beer Buzz. You'll find the video right there.
I would suggest we also get our director of videography, Carol Zubris, on the video at this point because she is certainly decked out in her best holiday splendor.
She has done an outfit change. Never before on the Friday Beer Buzz has there been an outfit change during the show.
We've got our WILK.
WILK over here.
She's giving me the finger.
I think this is probably the first time we've had costume changes on the Friday Beer Buzz.
Yes.
All right. Oh, isn't that nice? Look at that.
Don't hurt his hand.
Yeah. Carol's got her Mrs. Santa Claus suit on. And our WILK is here as well.
So we are professionals.
You know what? Please do not look at these videos.
We have gone down a very long, dark, and lonely road.
It's an R rating now. I don't. Before the next 10 minutes is up, who knows where we'll be?
We are professionals.
Do not try this at home.
Do try this at home. Don't try this anywhere but home. We are professionals.
Good point. All right, let's get
So
underway.
our segment 4 question is about yeast, and people misunderstand how. Yeah, let's not go.
The elf, just stop it. Just stuff it over there.
Take 2. Our 4th segment is about brewer's yeast.
Oh, brewer's yeast, because I was launching into the clotrimazole commercial.
Yeah.
Sorry.
People do ask a lot of questions about yeast, and we get asked all the time. You know, we have Yingling Lager around here, and people think lager is the name of a beer. And while it is the name of a beer, it's actually yeast.
Yes.
There are 2. Yeah, lager yeast.
Is yeast.
There are 2 very broad styles of yeast. They're ale yeast and lager yeast. Lager yeast ferment at colder temperatures. They ferment at the bottom of the tank typically, and they typically ferment for a longer period of time. Ale yeasts ferment at the top of the tank. They ferment at warmer temperatures, and they tend to bring out more flavors. Now, our guest today is going to push both of those boundaries out of the water because that's like training wheels on a tricycle for him with these yeasts. But they do impart different.
Actually 6 yeasts.
Yeah. There are so many more combinations of these things, but they impart flavors.
Okay.
And that's how we get flavors into beers. That's why a German Hefty, you may taste banana and clove. There's no banana and there's no clove in it.
What?
It's all a byproduct of the yeast. So, without further ado, from Enola, PA, from the Pizza Boy Brewing, a.k.a. my favorite place in the world. We have Terry Hawbaker and Kristen Mullen joining us.
Kristen Mullen.
Thank you, guys.
We had a great time at Pizza Boy on the WILK Friday Beer Buzz bus trip not that long ago.
Good stuff.
It was a great time.
We were
Great having you guys.
we were so rock stars behind, backstage. We were so rock
how about
stars.
it?
Yeah,
we got to taste some things that Terry thiefed off of the bottles for us. That were just amazing.
Yeah,
And it's an
it was a good
amazing
time for
place.
sure,
It was
Terry.
fun. And John enjoyed the restroom.
Yes.
The men's restroom, he did.
Everyone does.
You know, that is the most, I'm told, the most photographed restroom in all of Pennsylvania because there are certain, the urinals are actually adapted from a keg. Isn't that correct?
Indeed, custom welded.
And that's not the first design that was in there, by the way. The first design, I'm told, had sharp edges, and that was a bad
Yeah, we had to replace it after the first.
They knurled those over after not too long.
2 or 3 people.
First bathroom accident.
Our elf knows about sharp edges.
Yes, he does.
Don't go there.
Our WILK. Be sure to watch the video.
So Pizza Boy is in Enola, PA, and it started with Al Kaminsky, who had Al's of Hampton, which is sort of catty corner right up the road, still exists. Pizza Boy is an amazing place. It has 102 plus beers on draft. More?
102 drafts.
Wow. It has scoreboards, TVs, widescreen TVs.
Yep.
And there aren't enough widescreen TVs to list all of the beers.
Yeah.
On the bus trip down, our buddy Lindo and I were strategizing about how we're going to be able to taste all of Terry's beers while we're down there.
Terry, does everybody who walks in the door have a real scientific approach when they're coming in, like Bill and Lindo did? Or?
Most people just look up and stare.
I bet they do.
Too many options.
So you
At
guys,
least for half an hour.
you guys, you just mentioned it when you got here today. You guys are making a move that's actually going to add additional Pizza Boy in-house beers in the lineup.
Indeed, we have 27 of our own beers out of 102. We have 27 of our own beers on currently, and that includes our 4 bottled products that we have still in the cellar. But our old little 5 hectoliter, we have a 20 hectoliter brew house now. Our old little 5 hectoliter brew house still hasn't sold, so we're both getting sick of looking at this pretty little BrauCon just sitting there. So we're actually moving it to the new shop. As well as all the tanks, hooking it up, integrating it with the big system. So, probably by March or April of next year, we'll have upwards of 35 of our own products on tap.
Wow.
And the small system will give us a real opportunity to brew really weird stuff. If we already don't do that enough.
Not that that's not happening in a 20 hectoliter version. Tell us the sunny side up that we thiefed and sampled, because I think it's probably coming up on draft. The odd combination, wonderful combination.
Sunny side up with Little Amps Coffee Stout is a normal beer that we normally have on tap, and we managed to get a hold of some Caribbean rum barrels that were freshly emptied. So a few months back, I filled a few of them up, and to one of the barrels I added cinnamon sticks, dried habanero peppers, and orange zest. And it aged for approximately 4 months in a rum barrel, and then I just recently blended it and another rum barrel together. It'll be on tap tomorrow.
Whoa.
We thiefed that when we were down there, and I was telling Terry it was like a painting. There were layers of flavors that would come in and out and progress toward the heat at the end.
And I got to think, habanero pepper has got to be a dangerous thing. Like, how do you know what's enough and how do you know what's too much? Is it trial and error? Or
that's why I filled many barrels so I could blend unpeppered beer into it.
So you can essentially tone it down in the end.
Yeah.
Now we did hit up. Did you say 4 bottles? Because there were
4
bottles. Tell us the 4 bottles. I know it's double barrel barley wine.
Yeah, there's both barrels barley wine.
Both barrels.
There's Permasmile, which is our white wine, barrel fermented, apricot, lambic-ish. I hate saying lambic, but lambic-ish.
Yeah.
Intangible, which is a sour tangerine ale, re-fermented with Brett. And Afternoon Delight, which is a hoppy Berliner Weiss.
Ugh. And we went through all 3 or all 4 of those when we were down to visit.
Great time, yes, absolutely. I think you guys should really think about putting up the Pizza Boy Hotel.
Yeah, we're working on that now.
I think so.
We've been campaigning for Pizza Boy East.
I like it. Yes. Let's talk about that.
So we have 2 different beers here today that Terry was nice enough to bring up to us. The first one is called Total Devastation. It is a barley wine.
Drink responsibly.
Yes. This one is it's just so wonderful. Tell us about Total Devastation. It's a barley wine, obviously, but tell us more about the beer.
It's a barley wine. It's a real rich, very full flavored beer. It's 11.3% ABV. This was aged for 6 months before it was ever tapped. The aging process in the brewery really lends depth to a large beer like this. So I really wanted to give it plenty of time before we actually release it to the public. But it's very dense, very lush in layers of fruit, and it's got a nice bitterness. In the style guidelines, there's English and there's American barley wines. This sort of
Yeah, it
blurs
does.
the lines
it does.
between the two.
Yeah,
It's got
Well,
more.
you know,
Bridges
I
the
was just
more
going to say a
hop
barley
character.
wine. This you mentioned bitterness. I'm tasting like a hop presence that you don't necessarily always find in a barley wine, which I love about this. This
Yeah.
is great.
Yeah,
It's excellent.
It's more balanced. I like to keep it more balanced and blur the lines a little bit.
It's a wonderful beer, and it will. The 11% is actually sneaky. It's not got a boozy aftertaste to it. It's not got that heat to it. We are a hoppy bunch, and I know when we were down there, you were doing. We know IPAs and double IPAs, and we've even heard about triple IPAs, but you're doing like triple double. And tell us about some of these crazy IPAs.
Right now, we have our West Shore IPA, which is a single IPA.
Right.
We actually had our Faceplant, which was a double IPA.
There's a name.
With a touch of habanero added to that.
No kidding.
That was a double IPA. We just kicked that. We still have our Palate Mallet, which is a triple IPA, and we have our Archangel, which is a quadruple IPA that's 14% on tap right now.
Nice.
And actually on tap right now, probably not by the time this airs, but on tap right now is actually Bacon Angel, which is a special Firkin I did packed with 3 pounds of freshly cooked bacon. Just
Nice.
for Bill.
Man.
Yeah, just for me.
Served with bacon on
And
the side.
served with bacon
Served
on the
with
side.
Wait, so how does that work for a vegetarian, Bill? Will you be able to
Yeah, it doesn't. I have to avoid the bacon beers, and I have to avoid the oyster stouts.
dibs
So
on
I
Bill's
just-
bacon
Yeah, you
beer?
can have my share.
Called it.
We have a we
I soon will be.
we have a second beer, and we're turning a corner onto a whole different style here, and it's a style we've only really done once or twice on the show. This one is called Dollars for Diabetes, and it is a blueberry sour. And sours have a whole nother thing to them. So tell us about the beer. Tell us about the campaign that goes along with this beer. This one's
Well,
I
the
love
beer
sours.
the beer itself, like you said, is a blueberry sour. This started out, pre-soured with lactobacillus bacteria. Not technically a yeast,
My
but
favorite bacteria.
it's my favorite bacteria too. It sours the beer
And
up
he's
nicely.
telling the truth.
And then it's fermented with a normal ale yeast.
Yeah.
And then with blueberries. And the blueberries impart all their flavor to it. After that initial fermentation is done, it's then further barrel aged in red wine barrels with extra fruit, and then undergoes another fermentation with my other favorite yeast, which is Brettanomyces.
Yeah.
And so it gives it a real funky sort of character that lays into the layers with the sourness.
It's very yummy.
It
And
is,
then-
isn't it?
It is really
Yeah,
good.
Brettanomyces is Brett. People talk about Brett beers,
Yeah.
and it lends a flavor of funk. Essentially, is the easy way to go at it.
Yeah.
So, how would you describe it? I mean, we got sour, we got tart, we got funk going on here.
Sour, tart, very fruity. Blueberry is a very difficult fruit to work with in a brewery because they're such a delicate fruit that their flavor's kind of lost. So we really have to jam a whole lot of fruit into a batch like this. I mean, for this batch, which was 4 oak barrels worth of beer, there was probably close to 250 pounds
Wow.
of blueberries added to it.
It's
Man.
really good. I mean, I really, I rarely will I reach for like a sour beer. Once in a while, though, it's something when it's kind of like off the menu as far as I'm
Yeah.
concerned. But when you try it, if you don't try it very often, you really appreciate what it does. I mean, the flavor itself and funk, I think, is a great one.
Yeah,
It
it's really, for people that are just starting on really good craft beer, it's an acquired taste. IPAs to some people are really, really strong, and then you drink them for a little while, and they become sort of your favorite.
Right.
Sours for us and for my wife and for Steve, sours have become our thing.
Yeah.
So to get a chance to taste one of these coming from someone that I consider the god of sours, don't tell him.
Nice. A little pressure for you there, Terry. We're enjoying Dollars for Diabetes. Blueberry.
This is really special.
It's good.
The last step into beer tasting, like you go through the.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they are. They probably are
Sours, is that it?
real advanced.
Sours
Yeah,
is like the
yeah.
spectrum, yeah.
Advanced
probably.
palate.
Dollars for Diabetes is blueberry sour is the beer we're tasting, along with Total Devastation.
Devastation, yeah.
Terry Hawbaker
Thank
from
you,
Pizza Boy. Terry, glad that you were able to join us today. I'm afraid we're out of time. Kristen, thank you for being here as well.
Thank you.
Dave Simonelli from Oron's with us this morning here.
Yeah, thank you.
Our legal counsel, Steve, has been with us all morning long.
Our WILK.
WILK.
Okay.
Merry Christmas. Christmas.
Mrs. BeerBuzz, Carol Zubris, our director of videographer.
Oh, and we have to thank Krugel's Georgetown Deli and Beer, holiday beers and winter beers. Oh my goodness, you're running out of time. Get them today. Krugel's Georgetown Deli and Beer, Route 309, Wilkes-Barre Township, right next to the Big Cow.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. This is the Friday Beer Buzz, bringing good beers and good people together.
Yeah.
Of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know, where those treetops listen and children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow. But then I am dreaming of a white Christmas, with every Christmas card I write. May your days be merry and bright. And may all your Christmases be white.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know, where the treetops glisten and the children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow. Yeah, I'm dreaming of a white